Hey Trail Riders, welcome back to the Daily Ride. I hope you guys are doing well. Today's crosshair passage comes from John 9:31, which says, "Now we know that God does not hear sinners, but if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears him." Daily fire thought for today is that, Lord, let this be my daily motto. Lord, I believe. Brandon, the word passage for today is John 9:1-34. The scriptures that get us through the Bible in a year is Judges 3, Acts 7, Jeremiah 16, and Mark 2. Today we're going to be talking about completing faith. John chapter 9 tells a story that demonstrated developing faith. Without even asking, Jesus healed a blind man. He plastered mud across his eyes and sent him to wash. The man came back with good sight. When questioned, the formerly blind man replied, "A man called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, 'Go to the pool of Siloam and wash.' So I went and washed, and I received sight." John 9:11. Then he said to him, "Where is he?" Verse 12. The once blind man did not know where Jesus had gone. Dissatisfied, the authorities decided this man is not from God. Verse 16. However, faith began to arise. They queried, "How can a man who is a sinner do such signs?" Verse 16. Who was Jesus? The man who was healed replied, "He is a prophet." Verse 17. But the authorities had already agreed to excommunicate from the temple anyone who said that Jesus was the Christ. Faced with such a fact as a man born blind now seeing, they tried to prompt him to state that Jesus was a sinner. But he would not, declaring instead, "Now we know that God does not hear sinners, but if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears him. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing." John 9:31 and then verse 33. His faith was developing. For this, he suffered persecution and was victimized as a disciple of Jesus. Jesus then found the man. He had been thrown out of the temple, typical of a world that rejects those who testify of the goodness of God. He had one important question to ask the man. Not whether he felt grateful or if he had stated or started to work, but do you believe in the Son of God? Verse 35. The man was puzzled. Who is he, Lord, that I may believe in him? Verse 36. He had enough faith in Jesus to feel his way to the pool of Siloam when blind because Jesus told him to go. That brought him physical sight. But another kind of faith would bring him a greater illumination, and his faith had not yet reached that point. Then Jesus replied, "You have both seen him, and it is he who is talking to you." In verse 37, the man looked at Jesus, and his faith exploded, and he had no problem accepting Jesus' declaration. He answered, "Lord, I believe." And he worshiped him, as it tells us in verse 38. Faith was then complete. God bless you guys. I hope you'll continually follow me here on the Daily Ride, and I'll see you on the next trail ride.